What is up, everyone? It is Matt here with TrailRunnerAdventures.com, and I'm here to do a little Lake Sonoma 50-miler preview today. That race will be held tomorrow, April 14th, in Healdsburg, California. And so, first of all, where you can find other coverage of the race, both pre-race and during the race, I will link iRunFar's race preview down below in this video. Check it out. They do a great job. They're actual journalists, so this preview is not to take away from what they do. It's just me giving my opinion. So make sure that you kind of check out their stuff. Ways that you can follow tomorrow during the race: you can do runner tracking at ultralive.net. That's an okay way to do things. But the big one is to follow iRunFar on Twitter, Megan Hicks on Twitter. They'll be posting great updates throughout the course of the race, and they'll have great coverage there. So let's go ahead and kind of get into it here. What I'm going to do is I'll give kind of my projected top 5 in each gender, and maybe one kind of dark horse who I think could really make some noise that no one's really talking about. So, this race is going to be the last chance for people to get their Western States golden tickets. And, it's going to be big. It always has a great turnout because of that. There's going to be a lot of really good athletes. On the women's side, there were a lot of women who kind of were forced to pull out last minute for a variety of reasons. But it's still going to be a great field. Going to be a lot of competition for those last 2 golden ticket spots. So let's go ahead and kind of dive right into that now. With my top 5 for the women, and right away I kind of start off with someone who no one's really talking about, with Sarah Cotton. I think she's got a chance to win this. She's a former track and field athlete at Georgetown. She was 4th in the Big East 10K in 2016. She's got a lot of foot speed, but she only has one ultra race under her belt. She did the Mount Hood 50K, I believe, last summer, June or July. She ran 3:44 for a course record, so it translated well to ultra. She's living up in Flagstaff now. She's got plenty of great trails to train on at high altitude with some great people. So, she could make some noise. She doesn't have the experience, so there's the chance that she could blow up as well. And in a competitive field like this, it's easy to fall back in the standings. But she's actually who I think is going to win this race. If she has a strong race, she could definitely do it. And so the person who I think is probably going to come in second, who a lot of people are picking to win, and she should rightfully so be the favorite to win this, is Keely Henninger. She's coming off just an incredible 2017. She won Chuckanut in February. She's has been having a really great last 18 months with running. I fully expect her to kind of carry that into this weekend at Lake Sonoma and to have a really great showing there. It wouldn't really surprise me if she won this race, but I definitely see her being in the top 2 and getting that golden ticket to Western States. In third, I've got Gina Slaby. Her races have kind of been all over the place in terms of the races she's chosen to do. She is incredibly talented. Last December, she won the Pigtails 50K in a 3 hours and 40 minutes, and then a month later did a track 12-hour race. The range is just incredible that she has. She was 3rd at Chuckanut just earlier this year. She's got the strength. She's got the speed. I think that she could definitely see herself getting a golden ticket, and honestly, she could potentially win this race. That's what's awesome about this race, is there are so many great athletes in this race that there's a number of people who could win it. So, definitely keep your eye on Gina Slaby. I've got her coming in third and just missing the golden tickets, but I wouldn't be surprised if she was in there and we saw her at Western States this year. Fourth, and someone who's not getting a whole lot of love, is Amy Leedom. She had a really strong 2017 season. She finished 10th at the North Face 50-mile championships in San Francisco. She followed that up last month, finished 4th at Way Too Cool. She's really talented. I think if she has a big day, she'll definitely see herself in the top 5. She could even work her way up into a golden ticket position there. She's really talented, and has performed well in a lot of big races. So, look for her to have a great showing. And in fifth, I've got the great Amy Sproston. Basically, every race she enters, she is poised to win. She definitely is no different in this one here. She is, a lot of people have her finishing in the top 3. I wouldn't be surprised if she snagged a golden ticket. I've got her in the top 5. On a good day, she could definitely win this race. And so look forward to seeing Amy Sproston out there, up near the front of this ladies' field tomorrow. So that wraps it up for my top 5 women for the Lake Sonoma 50 tomorrow. I want to move on to my ladies' dark horse here real quick before we move on to that men's race. And my dark horse is going to be Camellia Mayfield. So she's a coach over at Trails and Tarmac. They do a great job there. She's a former D1 athlete at Portland State and is one of ultra running's truly rising talents. She had an incredible 2017. She won the Mount Bachelor 50K put on by Under Armour. She won the Waldo 100K. And then she was 12th at the North Face 50-mile championships. Kept the ball going into 2018. She was 8th at Chuckanut in February. And I think that if she is on, she is going to be up near the front of this field. And I'm excited to see how this 25-year-old kind of rising star can really do, not just tomorrow, but moving forward. I look forward to really seeing her in some big races. And I think that this is a name that you want to kind of remember here, because I think that she really has the ability to do a lot in ultra running. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the men's field here. The men's field didn't have, as many guys drop out. There were a few, but, it's a loaded field. I'm really excited for it. And we'll just kind of get going right away with who I think is going to win. I think it's, the easy pick to make is Jim Walmsley, and I'm not going to divert from that. I think that right now he's one of the best. He's probably the best ultra runner at any distance under 100 miles. He's had his struggles at 100 miles and it's still great, but I don't see anyone being able to run with him for the entire 50 miles tomorrow. I just don't. I think that Jim's going to go out and do what Jim does and kind of push the pace early. But there is one caveat here. He's got some Coconino Cowboy teammates who are coming out trying to chase golden ticket spots. Jim already has his spot through the ITRA rankings. He doesn't need a golden ticket. I still think he wins, but there is the chance that maybe he hangs back just a little bit to pull his teammates along with him and kind of get them out clear so that they can also snag their golden tickets. But in the end, I think Jim, has too many tools to lose this race, to be perfectly honest. So, I do think that, these last 4 spots in my top 5 are going to be really close. But I think Jim kind of goes away with the win here. And so in second place, I'm projecting that Jared Hazen finishes second here. He was 3rd at the 2015 Western States 100. He raced again after that, ended up taking about a year and a half, not necessarily off, but no real races. And then he came back, won the Moab Red Hot 33K, finished second at last month's Way Too Cool, right behind Max King. He seems to be just in great shape, really poised for a big run. I think that he gets second and he kind of takes that first golden ticket spot without, really without much issue. There are a lot of talented runners in this field, but I think that Jared Hazen, when he's on, is among the best in the country. And I think that he's going to show that tomorrow, to be quite honest. So in third, I've got Mario Mendoza. What can you say about Mario? It seems like every single race he enters, he's on the podium. So to bet against that seems silly. I think that he's going to do a great job again tomorrow. I do think that he finishes third, but he's already got his golden ticket. He won the Bandera 100K earlier this year, holding off Cody Reed. He had a great 2017 season with 3 wins, 3 second-place finishes. He's a great runner. I don't think he's going to be fazed by the early pace. I think that he'll be fine. I think that he will kind of be able to run people down late. He'd be calm, cool, and collected there. So I expect Mario to have a big run tomorrow. And now we're going to move on to kind of who I have in fourth and fifth. And this was really tough because, this is the last golden ticket spot right here. So in fourth, I've got David Lainey. He's been struggling as of late. He really hasn't he hasn't run up to his potential since he finished, fourth at UTMB and then third at the 50-mile championships in San Francisco for the North Face in 2016. This last year, he was 14th at UTMB. But when Dave is on, and I expect him to have a really big bounce-back race tomorrow. I see him getting that Western States golden ticket spot. And I think that this sets him up good for the 2018 year. So in fifth place and just missing out on that last golden ticket, I've got Eric Sensman. He's more than capable of finishing in the top two in the entire race. He was 25 minutes off Walmsley's JFK 50-mile course record. He crushed that race. He had a tough go at Black Canyon 100K, dropped out. He'd been sick. I think that he bounces back. I think he has a great race. This is just a loaded field, and I wouldn't necessarily be surprised to see Sensman up in the top three. I've got him finishing fifth, but it's a competitive field. Once you get past kind of Jim, it's all kind of up for grabs. I think there's a lot of guys who could really get it. There's other guys out there too who I'm not even talking about who are more than capable of finishing up near the top. So there's a lot of guys to look out for, but that's who I have in my top five. And I'm going to go into my dark horse pick here. This is going to be someone that basically no one knows, really. No one's really talking about. I Run Far mentioned him, but it's Shadrack Kipchoge. He's a Kenyan runner, no ultra experience. He just ran earlier this year 2:21 for the road marathon in Jerusalem. Broke his own, was 4 minutes off his course record that he set the year before. So he'd run 2:17 the year before. I believe a few years ago he ran 2:14. He's got a ton of leg speed. Doesn't have the ultra running experience, but I don't see him being fazed by that early pace. I think that he's going to, really get out there and mix things up early on, and we'll see if he can kind of hold on late. But he's got so much leg speed; it's hard to not think that he can do something if he's been doing the training and is strong enough to hold on. So, that's going to wrap it up for this preview of the Lake Sonoma 50. Let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts are. Who do y'all have? How do you see it playing out? Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And again, if you want to follow along, make sure you follow Megan Hicks and I Run Far on Twitter, Brian Powell on Twitter. That's the best place for coverage. And, thanks a lot for listening. Have a great day.